The slides up until this point were created for my clients. I left it in that format so you can see how I'm using this in a practical way with my clients. I'm going to pause here before the meditation to talk just to those of you who are practitioners of esoteric healing. Then I'll continue with the guided meditation in a separate video meant for everyone, including clients. Feel free to share this video with anyone you'd like. I guide my clients through this technique during our sessions and then give it to them through a video to repeat as homework. Master DK does make it clear that this is personal work. We each need to work on dissipating our own individual glamours. Nobody can do it for us. And he says that we must work on our own individual glamours before we can ever consider working together on world glamours. And you know what? The world needs us. There are so many world glamours. We as a group can help. But we've got to do our own work first. That's why I asked the conference committee if we could add these videos to our current conference, even though the theme and the speakers were all already planned, all set. It couldn't wait another 6 months or a year from now. We have got to get a move on. I'd also recommend that you read Bailey's Glamour, A World Problem. Read it, study it, compare it with this technique that I'll be going through next, and meditate on it. As I said earlier, I see this technique as a starting point. So study the book and the technique, try it out for yourself and with others. And if you have any ideas to improve the technique, please get in touch with me. I would love to get together and perfect it, or get together as a group and work on this together. I've put my email on the screen to reach me, and also my website, where you can also access my client videos from there. I don't mind at all if you share them or if you remake this video, this technique into your own video for your clients. That is my hope, that you'll share this technique with as many people as possible in any way that you can. Now I imagine you're thinking, I wonder how Jen is assessing for glamours. Am I right? I know that's what you're thinking. Well, I'm going to show you how I do it. I do it in a very, very simple way. And this is based off of a COVID teaching shared by Coral Thorson when we were deep in the midst of COVID. I've just adapted the technique to use in many different ways besides COVID, including the assessment of glamours. And I use it for glamours just in a very simple way. When I align and attune, I align and attune with the part of the person's soul in relationship with glamours. For example, I would say, as I'm doing my process in my head, I'm saying I am aligning and attuning with the part of Jen Wolfus's soul in relationship with glamours. But that's kind of general, huh? We're all still in a body, so we all have lots of glamours while we're still on this earth school. So we do need to make it a little more specific than that. You might want to say, align and attune with the part of so-and-so's soul in relationship with the glamour of materialism. Or if we're working with a specific condition, we can align and attune with the part of so-and-so's soul in relationship with glamours surrounding their condition. So like the glamour surrounding their back pain, or surrounding their allergies or fibromyalgia or their depression, whatever the condition is, you're aligning and attuning with the part of them in relationship with glamours surrounding that condition. So I hope that makes sense. So the alignment and attunement is, the process of that is critical. And then we move on. Then, just like we sense a center on the body, I sense their glamour in the exact same way. Think of it as assessing the density of glamour within their field. First, we align and attune, as I described on the last slide. Then keep your ajna on their soul light. And then as you keep your ajna there, around the middle of their field, just think glamours, say in your head, glamours surrounding their condition, whatever it is. So glamours surrounding their chronic pain. Or maybe you're looking at the glamour of materialism. So say it in your head as you're sensing into that glamour. Ajna is on the soul light. So start with your hands outward, and then just like assessing a center, bring your hands inward until you sense into the barrier. If it's strong, that means there's a lot of glamours. If you sense nothing and your hands just come together like air, that means no glamours. So when I'm in a session and working on a specific complaint of the client, for example, if they have chronic pain, I'll assess the glamours surrounding the chronic pain. If it's strong, then I'll guide them through this meditation. But first I'll guide them through just a brief exploration of what their limiting thoughts and emotions may be regarding the pain, and then guide them through this meditation technique. I'll continue to assess throughout the technique to see how they're doing, but most often it's really really interesting. As I'm guiding them through it and assessing, I'll get to the point where they're shooting that light to the box and dissolving it, and I tell them to tell me when you're done. And so then as I'm assessing, they'll often say, okay, I'm done, right as my hands come together and those glamours have dissipated. After guiding my clients through the meditation, at the end of the session, I'll share the videos with them and have them repeat the meditation frequently as homework. And then at their next session, I'll reassess their glamours. Now, I would like you to assess your glamours next. I'll put on the screen here the statements that you'll make as you align and attune. So you can pause now and write this down and assess your own glamours in whichever statement resonates with your situation. You can also objectify the amount of glamours using the Likert scales, like 0 to 5 or 1 to 5. I like 0 to 5, but this would be different from the way that we typically use our Likert scale in our esoteric healing triangles. For this situation, 0 would be no glamour, and 5 would be significant glamour. So jot down where you're at now, and then after the guided meditation, I'd like you to go back and reassess your glamours and see how they've changed. Now, the following meditation will be 18 minutes, just to prep you. So let that determine if you continue with the meditation now, or maybe do it later when you have time and can be in a quiet space. Enjoy.